What's up, guys? This is Wes, and this is Give Us It Podcast, where we take business conversations out of the office and put it out on the lake. We bring leaders, creators, and builders out on the boat, and yes, literally we talk about what drives them, what challenges them, and why they keep showing up every freaking day. Every episode you'll hear raw, real conversations that may make you think, laugh, and also rethink the way you're showing up in your own life. So grab a seat, because this is Give Us It. Hey guys, it's Wes Israelson with Give Us It Podcast. We are out here on the boat, and look at how freaking beautiful it is. But guess what? You missed your chance to be here. Sorry, next year. Just kidding. But not kidding. Guys, we're here. Give Us It Podcast is where we get to connect with business owners and leaders, creators. We love connecting, and this perfect, amazing person right here owns a merch company in Utah, and I'm going to go through all of that, but I just want to start with, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in North Salt Lake till I was about 12, and then Cottonwood Heights from then on out.
And still live in Cottonwood Heights?
I live in Sandy now.
Sandy, yeah. And growing up, like, tell us about family and life. Like, were anybody in your family entrepreneurs?
Not really. Not until way later in life. My dad had a job at UTA. He was there for 32 years, and then his position was eliminated, and he always did welding on the side, so he started a welding business and does custom wrought iron work like railings and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I mean, 32 years is a full career.
Yeah.
And then he started another business, or then he started a business.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, that kind of business, it was just him and one or two people. It wasn't.
That's so cool.
Like a huge scale.
And how old were you when he did that?
So let's see, when was that? That was, I think I was about 25.
That's awesome. That's way cool. And so your childhood growing up, were you into sports? Like, tell us a little bit about that and kind of growing up.
Growing up, I was kind of a nerd. Did play a little bit of sports, but parents didn't have a lot of money. We played Little League for 1 year, couldn't afford it after that. And I was always huge into like Star Wars, Star Trek, books, that kind of stuff. I was the nerd of the family.
I know numbers are your thing too.
Right? Yeah, I'm a big numbers guy.
Yeah. And then if we fast forward a little bit, no college, right?
Yeah, no college.
And then straight into work.
Yeah, I graduated high school. Even my senior year in high school, I took off a couple of classes a day to do work release. And did a bunch of call center jobs. Started in the oil field when I was 22 and did that till 2008 when we got laid off, took a 2-year break and then went back. So in total, I spent about 12 years in the oil field.
And it's pretty crazy because people just think it's just drilling, but you were directionally drilling. You were creating the angles and everything else to create. You were the math behind all of it.
Yeah, they would design a well plan, and we would have to steer the well and calculate angles, make sure that we're getting the build rates out of the motors. That position, we were actually designed for lessening environmental impact. It was so, anymore, there's no one well that just goes straight down. A lot of the pads that we were on would have 32 different wells on one pad, and we just looks like a spider web going out.
That's crazy to imagine to go around rocks and to make sure you don't hit things, to go all the way, like, it's just crazy to me to think about.
Yeah, it gets a little intense especially when we're drilling number 32, and a collision, making sure you're not running into one of the other wells that we just drilled. Gets pretty intense sometimes, but.
And your drive for doing that, why, other than in Utah, Roosevelt, great, beautiful area to hunt, all that stuff too, but why?
Oh, anywhere in the oil field, you never want to go. Dinosaurs never died anywhere cool or fun. Yeah, the majority of what we drilled for was natural gas, but it was always nowhere you'd really ever want to be.
Yeah, and I hear that the country itself really has a lot of natural gas.
Yeah, best way to describe it, like Wyoming, where we spent a lot of time. Wyoming is the United States equivalent of natural gas to what Saudi Arabia is to oil.
Wow.
They actually have to have back pressure because the amount of gas in Wyoming would overpressure the entire U.S. system.
So, and I know that we talked about it, but in the oil field, in this position, you weren't out drilling, you were behind a desk sitting there, and you're 60 miles from anywhere, so you literally have nothing to do but just to calculate, eat, maybe
watch TV. Yeah, work 12 hours a day. I got real fat and lazy.
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah, I admit it. I did. I was, at worst, I was like 320 pounds.
Wow. I can't picture that.
Yeah, went upstairs on the rig to slide, is what we called when we were actually steering, and got out of breath going up 20 stairs. And I was like, okay, it's time for something to change. Started working out with my cousin as motivation. He and I started a supplement company. So we did protein, pre-workout, those kind of things. And people started messing up my merch. And that's what got me started in this.
But I want to go back to that. So you were making good money too in the oil field, right?
Oh yeah, I still don't make as much as I did in the oil field.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. But you felt that you were just maybe losing some of yourself, but you couldn't go up the stairs very well, and you knew something needed to change. So you and your cousin started a company.
Yeah.
Out of thin air.
Yeah, it's it's funny being in Utah. You would not believe how many labs are in Utah that make the majority of the protein and pre-workouts and stuff that's across the U.S.
Yeah, and then you also, I'm going to jump forward and back, but you also how many merch companies are in the state of Utah?
Oh, last time that I was talking to a few of my reps, there's over 200 registered merch promotional products companies in Utah.
It's crazy. So between supplemental, you went into a business because you had a passion to help and created a supplement, and you're also competing with so many other companies.
Yeah.
And then what happened with that company?
The supplement company, my merch company started taking too much of my time, that I decided it was time to let the supplement company go. And my cousin owns a wrap company, and his was taking more time. So we both decided that we were just going to run it into the ground for the tax break.
And then I want to dive back into something. 2008, what happened?
2008, when Obama took office, a whole bunch of the leases were canceled in Wyoming, and that's what got us laid off. We got laid off like February 12th, 2008.
And you literally lost everything, lifestyle, everything was gone,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was stupid. I was spending most of my money driving a car that I shouldn't have been driving, and yeah, I lost everything.
So what would you tell a business owner or a leader today watching that's also doing that stupid same thing right now and just started their business?
Yeah. One, be smarter, read books. Everybody talks about it, but also it was probably one of the biggest learning experiences for me, and I am better because of it.
And I tell people I win or I learn every single day. I don't fail, because if I fail, then I stop. I
Right.
learn from something that I didn't work. So
Yeah. Mistakes are the greatest teachers.
they are. And sometimes they are the worst thing in the world. And they hurt like hell.
Oh yeah, that one stung. That one took a really long time to recover from, but I am definitely better for it.
So the supplemental company started after that.
Yeah, we started the supplement company in 2014.
And in that period of time, what were you doing? Was that the call center stuff?
From 2008 to 2010 was call center stuff. 2011 is when I went back to the oil field.
Gotcha. And what made you go, other than money, what made you go back again?
Big thing was money.
Yeah.
Call center jobs don't pay that great. And one of my really good friends called me and was like, hey, this directional company's hiring. And I mentioned your name, and the director called me and he's like, hey, you actually have rig experience and you're okay with numbers, like come up for an interview. Showed me some of the tools we were working with, and he's like, and you're okay with computers? He's like, you're good with computers? He's like, I'll start you tomorrow. And offered me like $500 a day to start. And I was like, okay, where do I sign? Let's do this.
There's a book that I was recommended to. I think it's called The Superpower 10 Times Forward. It talks about the U.S. as a well of food, natural gas, fuels, and everything that this country has that no other country in the world has as much of. We just don't source it as much.
Right.
So it's really cool to listen to that. And I know Sarah, in what she does, would be crazy too, but it's just cool to think about understanding the directional drilling. And I was hunting in Wyoming last weekend, so it's pretty crazy to think.
Yeah, it's really crazy. And it's also pretty cool, like being on the directional driller side that was, designed to lessen environmental impact, and finding out just how much the oil companies have to go through. Any well that we were on, they had to inventory the entire pad and plant the exact amount of plants when they leave. So every sagebrush that they rip out, they have to replace.
Wow.
It's It is crazy.
That's cool. I mean, it's good to know too.
Yeah, it kind of helps. Like, there's a whole lot of stigma towards the oil field, but a lot of what we did, they replace everything that we.
And then I want to jump to 2016 with $1,500. What did you do?
So the last order that I got from the company, my third merch company, was 2 weeks late after a trade show. It had taken him 6 weeks to get it to me.
Jeez.
And with the order, we had 3 Lululemon pairs of leggings and 4 Under Armour hoodies for girls and guys that I sponsored, and they messed up my logo. So, $1,000 in those 6 items.
Yeah, Lululemon's not cheap.
Yeah, no. So I decided, I was like, they got to be paying somebody $10 an hour to do this. I can figure out how to do it. Did a little bit of reading, went to one of our local distributors, was like, hey, this is what I want to do. And he's like, okay, well, starter is like a silhouette. It's like $200. This heat press is pretty decent. It's like $600. And then I spent about $900 on blank clothing and just different materials and everything, and sat in my living room and figured it out.
That's cool. So it took the application of understanding all the math, the ability to have the money and start this thing just because you didn't like the way someone gave you something that you had just purchased.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I figured I just wasted, $1,000 on stuff with the wrong logo. I might as well spend $1,500 on the right one.
So today, someone that's getting ready to start a business, and they have $2,000 in their account, and that's it. But they have this deep drive and they want to do this thing. What do you tell them?
1, do your research, and 2, go for it. Granted, don't spend anything you can't afford to lose, but I say go for it.
Yeah. And JC Pro Design, what's the name mean?
So the first business that I ever started was a computer repair business called Justin's Customs. That's where the JC came from. And to be honest, the JC was like number 12 of me going through that I could find an Instagram domain and business that wasn't already registered. So that's where JC Pro Design came from.
That's cool. Because you also did your research to understand if you can keep that name through all of your marketing channels too.
Oh yeah, you never want a .co, you never want... I made sure that I could get everything and bought it before I registered the business.
And I just think it's cool because as a business owner, it's daunting. It's scary, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, luckily, maybe you were still working when you started this on the side, right?
Yeah, I was still working. I didn't leave the oil field until 2019.
So you worked for basically 3 years while you built JC Pro up.
Yeah.
That's freaking... I mean, we talk about it. There's a guy named the Salt Lake Texan that said it. Your 9 to 5 is what pays your bills, but your 6 to 12 can build your empire.
Yeah.
6 to 12 build your empire.
Fortunately for me, the oil field, the schedule that I was on was 20 days on, 10 days off. So I actually had 10 full days off that I could do whatever with. Being that I was the guy in the office and a lot, so during my 12 to 18 hour shift, I did have downtime that I could respond to emails or look stuff up and that kind of thing.
But you just said, just want to clarify, 20 days on,
yeah,
12 to 18 hour shifts per day.
Yeah. That's what I did. The longest shift that I did once was we got so busy and a couple of guys got hurt. I did 42 days straight without days off. In 2013, that year, I think I worked 210 days.
That's crazy. I mean,
or 260 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
still
crazy.
days.
That's, I mean, if you take that and just put it in hours, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy to think about. And not that society needs to change, but some people don't even work 6 hours a day, but they get paid for 8.
Yeah,
you were working double that.
Yeah, they were paying us for it, but I will say that's a big part of where my work ethic came from. Is you're not allowed to call in sick.
Yeah, and also at 25, watching your dad start this welding company after UTA may have whatever they did, but dropped his job.
Yeah,
he had some pension coming, but he just started something.
Yeah,
that's great because it led into you like I can redo this thing. I know I'm smart enough.
Yeah,
get a couple of books, here's some money, and just start.
Basically, yeah. And the whole merch company thing was an accident. I was planning on the supplement company taking off, but enough people started asking, who does your stuff? I do. Well, how much would you charge me to do this? And it just totally overtook everything.
Yeah. That's cool. And the supplement company we can't really talk about, but I know you sold it, or part of it at least.
I sold a patent on the protein that I had.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that math brain too, I'm sure. It's got some part of that.
Actually, I met with the guys in this lab in Oklahoma at a trade show and was talking to them about a protein that I wanted. And I met with their chemist and told him what I wanted to do. And he did most of the work. And but I got the patent on it, and we sold quite a bit of that protein. That was our number one product. We had quite a few affiliates that promoted it, and when we were deciding to disband the company, I got approached by a company that wanted to buy the patent, and I had to sign 10-year NDAs and all sorts of stuff. So I still can't say who I sold it to. And they never released it.
It's got to be irritating.
It is. I love that protein, and I know so many people that still want that protein. But
yeah, because I know it was healthy.
It was very healthy. It was a blend of 10 different proteins, so it broke down over time. People with celiac or any kind of stomach issues could take it without getting their stomach upset.
It's just crazy to think of how you got this work ethic built through, started JC Pro, and how many years is JC Pro going now? It'll be
9 years. We started April 2016, so next year's our 10-year anniversary.
How does that feel?
Pretty crazy.
We did talk about something that I want to say, and I want your input after this, is you build this beast, and what can you not do?
We can do just about anything print related. If we don't do it in-house, we have partners that we work with that will do it.
And outside of that, let's say that this beast is this big company after almost 10 years. You have to feed it every day.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, you want to grow this company to this size, and then you start realizing how much work you have to bring in to keep it going.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge, but that's what drives me, is the challenge.
And if someone's out there and they started 2 years ago and they're building this company, they're on their way to hit 5 million this year, what would you tell them about that same concept?
That is amazing, and keep going. And honestly, relationships are everything.
Yeah. And elaborate on why relationships, why we're on this boat. Why does it matter so much to you?
Relationships is where business is done. I am not one of those guys that's going to shop people for price, or I make friends with all of my distributors, and I joke with them too. I was like, I never want to be your biggest customer. I just want to be your best or your favorite. And
Should be a tagline.
yeah. And I am, and they send me a ton of work. It's when people ask them, hey, do you know somebody that can do that? They refer me, and it's because I'm their favorite.
And my wife, I call my wife my goddess, but my wife says to me, who is that? I'm like, at Wendy's? She's like, yeah. Do you know them? I said, I know, I just met him, but I just gave him a hug. I like the guy already. She's like, how the hell do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So relationships matter. People matter.
People matter.
Whether they're employees, their customers, or your vendors, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And JC Pro Design, I want to get into what you started with, as you talked about, but all the capability you currently have and what the future direction looks like for your company.
Yeah, so I started with just a little silhouette, which is another version of a Cricut, and a heat press in my living room.
We do work for Cricut.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Remodeled my garage September that year. I went to a trade show, bought my first wide format printer, started doing banners, vehicle wraps, and print and cut vinyl before DTF was a thing.
What is DTF so people understand?
Direct to film. It's the buzzword for the industry. It's a full color printed heat applied graphics. That's what the big thing is right now. So after remodeling my garage, I bought my first direct to garment printer in 2018. I was the first person in Utah with Epson's home-based direct to garment printer. Hired my first employee in 2018 so she could run the printer while I was out of town. And she worked out of my garage for 3 or 4 months before we moved into the first commercial space.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Moved to a bigger commercial space in 2020. We actually grew during COVID. Brought on screen print in 2020. And 2021, we went from 1 manual screen print to 2 automatics. So I went from 3 employees to 8.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
And and again, this is for people
Yeah.
watching. What does it look like to make that jump and manage people?
Hearing from everybody, most people fall on their face jumping that big. I was pretty fortunate that we had a good team. I treat my employees very well, and we're up to 18 now.
Congratulations.
Right now, we're split across 3 different buildings in our industrial complex.
Which is a pain, I'm sure.
Yeah. I am trying to find one really big building that I can move us all into, but it's been hard to find one in a decent area that has enough power for us. One of the big things is I need to kind of stay on the I-15 corridor because I do have some employees that come from Syracuse. I have some that come from Lehigh, and I don't want to add a half an hour to anybody's commute.
Yeah, because you care about people.
Yeah.
And relationships matter.
Yep.
So what's today, JC Pro, what type of customers are you looking for? What type of businesses or relationships are you looking for?
Honestly, any business, we're happy to help, the 1-2 man shows get started. Ideally, my biggest customers are marketing companies. My biggest customer is actually in Louisiana, and we ship most of their stuff to Miami or Vegas for different trade shows.
That's awesome. So you're not just in state, you're nationwide.
Nationwide, yeah. We've even done some projects international. We've done a couple that we had to ship to France.
And something important for us as business leaders or business owners is continuing education. What do you do for your business to continue to elevate what you guys do?
Like I said, I'm a nerd, so I sign up for all these different podcasts at trade shows. I'm
on a boat.
Yeah, on a boat. Listen to a ton of podcasts in our industry. I'm constantly talking to the different reps about, hey, what cool new things have you guys heard about? And then I dive into it. At the big event trade shows that we have for our industry, I'm networking. I'm going to the booth with the little guy that's like, hey, this is this. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That might be the next thing. So.
And I mean, you've elaborated a little bit on it, but why the heck do you get up every morning and do this over and over?
Me, it's the challenge, problem solving, numbers. I like figuring out how I'm going to grow and feeding the beast, as you put it.
Yeah, those weren't my words. They were Travis Stream's, but I mean, it's true. Like, you want to grow this thing, and then you realize that you also have to continue to feed it.
Yeah.
So whether it's a pet or a cat or a horse, doesn't really matter what it is, but as they grow, you have to feed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And feeding is employees. It's also customers, and it's also how you build more and more solutions with relationships and everything else.
Exactly.
So can we walk through just really fast before we kind of get done and wrapping up, but what is a customer going to experience with JC Pro when they come to you?
One of the things that you'll experience with us is we have a fast response time. From the time that you fill out your contact form to the time you get a response is typically 2 to 3 hours. At most 1 business day. That's one of the biggest things that I feed into mine and my customer service reps' heads is we respond as fast as we can. We have an in-house art team. Usually from time that you pick out the items or we give you a quote, you'll have a formal order with proofs within a couple of hours for you to approve. And our standard turnaround time is only 2 weeks.
That's crazy. So most customers that work with you or people that work with you, do they already know what they want, or do you supply solutions and give them front of mind new options?
We have both. The marketing companies, the people that do a lot of trade shows, they usually know exactly what they want, and we just supply it and shoot over the quote. The average person, we have a showroom that you can come down and feel and touch all the different fabrics, picks out the thing that you actually want to wear. Or if they're out of the state, we'll send a good, better, best option and let people choose.
That's awesome. And again, it's important for people just to understand, why is customer service so important to you?
One is the way that I've been treated. Customer service is huge for us. Even if it's somebody that we don't necessarily want to work with, we still treat them like a priority.
And I want to give a testament too, because we had a golf tournament that we sponsored, and Alex was working with either you or someone on your team.
She was working with Carol.
And it literally was like, we needed the hats. I don't know if it was in 5 days or less or something crazy.
I think it was 8 days.
Yeah. And you guys not only delivered, but a day early and what we had wanted.
Yeah.
So your guys' company, it was a similar hat with our logo with the leather patch, and it was, anyway.
Yeah, they came out really nice. I like how they look.
Yeah. And a lot of people gave us a lot of credit because there's the word swag, which seems okay, but most people that really know what it is, they call it merch. Right?
Yeah. We refer to it either way. Some people will say, I want more swagger.
And if someone's going to host an event today, what's one really cool thing that you think is out there that people should really pay attention to?
So right now, hats are super popular. The nice thing about hats is you don't have to worry about sizes. I will say get 2 styles of hats. Get a fitted hat, like a flex fit hat, and a snapback hat, because there's hat people that are diehard for either way. But hats are super popular, and it's nice not having to worry about sizes. And any new meeting you go to, if you give somebody a hat, they're going to remember you.
Have you ever done what is it called? Paddleboard? Is that what the heck is it called?
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
I have
paddle.
not played pickleball, but we have done pickleball paddles.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We need to get us some.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to tell anyone watching today?
Oh, that's a rough question. One, some of the biggest struggles you're going to go through is breaking through to the next level.
Yeah. And on that same subject, what would you tell them to not do?
Don't overspend. Understand your limitations. Do not take an order that you think is going to make or break your company if you can't afford to lose the money.
And you say that from experience, because I know that you were, I want to say shafted, but a customer didn't pay you for how much money?
It was close to $20,000 this year.
And how does that feel?
Oh, it hurts.
And that's the risk that we take as leaders or business owners, right?
Right.
And sometimes you learn those lessons the hard way.
Yeah, exactly.
So if someone's out there right now and they need that money, what would you also tell them?
I'd say run your numbers. Don't be afraid if somebody needs net terms to ask for a credit app, and call references.
Yeah. And how important is it to have a mentor or a coach or someone to help you?
Oh, hugely important. It's definitely changed the way I think and how I run my business since I started working with one a few years ago.
That's awesome. And I just want to say again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for spending the time out here on this beautiful lake.
Oh, thanks for having us. This is amazing. Yeah.
Isn't it? And guys, this is Justin Leader with JC Pro Design. If you need any merch and you're in Utah or outside of Utah, this is the guy that I would recommend. I will tell you from our personal experience, it's not just great service, but it's great product. And they really care about what they do.
Thank you.
So,
yeah, we try.
Guys, this is Wes Israelson with Give Us It Podcast. Please, please, please subscribe. Send this to someone that needs to hear it if they just started a business. And if you want to be honest and share your story, reach out to Alex. Thanks, guys.